Jim Holman, editor of the San Diego Reader. I'm here with Tom Walker, who has a video podcast or a YouTube channel called Discover Now.
Discover This.
Discover This, about different San Diego history stories. And we're talking about the life of Frank Bompensiero, who was the most infamous Mafia hitman in Southern California, according to some people. And he grew up here, or spent his adult life here in San Diego. Been talking about some of the other crimes he was involved in, but an interesting one was this. Is it Phil Galo?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So Phil Galo was another guy tied in with the LA family,
Okay.
and ran afoul of them at some point. You know, whatever he did to upset Jack Dragna specifically, so the head of the LA family.
Jack Dragna is the head of the LA family.
Yeah.
And Bompensiero is important to Dragna because from the early 20s, or let's say the mid 20s, Dragna got him out of trouble that he'd been in back in Wisconsin, and Bompensiero was extremely loyal. And of course, he gets his living from him. He pays him.
Sure.
But this is one of the things he did for Dragna.
Correct.
And why did he want to get rid of Galo?
I can't remember what he did to upset the Dragnas, but
Something.
And maybe to us it was nothing, but I mean to them it was, you know, they wanted him gone, basically. So Dragna gets a hold of Bompensiero and says, "I need you to take care of this guy."
And they did it up in L.A. or in San Diego?
It was up in L.A.
Okay.
So Bompensiero goes up to L.A. and he ends up kidnapping Phil Galo.
Oh.
Threw him in a car, took him to probably somewhere downtown LA type of thing, but somewhere that had alleyways and different things, and pistol whips him violently, or at least beats him, but they believe he's pistol whipped very violently.
Yeah.
Threw him out of the car into the gutter, and then shot him 6 times.
Wow.
This was Bompensiero did that.
Wow.
The only problem is Galo lived another 7 days.
Oh.
He went to the hospital, lived for 7 days before he died. In that 7 days, at some point in time, he was able to give an interview to the LAPD,
Wow.
identifying Bompensiero as his killer, or the guy that shot him anyway, beat him up and shot him. LAPD never did anything with that. They said they didn't have enough evidence to, you know, so that kind of went away. But it scared Bompensiero enough, I guess, that, or the family believed it was necessary for him to disappear for a while.
Do we know where he went?
Yeah, so he was provided a list of names of people that would take care of him in Detroit, Kansas City, and in Florida.
Wow.
And so he had this list of names. He packed up his stuff in San Diego. I don't know what he told his wife, but he ended up leaving and went to Detroit first, and then kind of over the next 3 years skipped around.
And it was funny too, because Mary Ann, his daughter, who gave extensive interviews to Judith, who wrote the book here, the stories for the reader in the book, she remembers with him being gone and them not knowing, and they never told his mom. So his mom also immigrated to San Diego from Porticello. The dad, I don't think did. I think for some reason maybe the dad was dead by then, but the mom came here and lived, and she never knew what business he was in.
No, he would tell her that he was in trucking.
And he went and visited. That was the other thing that was very touching in the story. He goes and visits her up on Columbia, and I think it's Columbia and Ash Street or something. Maybe Columbia and Cedar. He goes and visits her every morning and has coffee with her and gives him money.
Yeah.
She never knows what business he's in, and that he's gone for 3 years.
He's gone for 3 years.
Yeah.
And he comes back. Eventually, somehow or another, they frame another guy who gets arrested and convicted.
Really?
And that's when Bompensiero comes back.
See, that's the other thing too, that somebody says in the book, or I don't know if you said it in your YouTube video, is that the cops were somewhat corrupt themselves, and
very much so.
And the Irish cops and the Italian mafia people had a thing going that they would somehow make things happen in a way that was beneficial to the mafia. Amazing. Let's go ahead and end this one, and we'll continue with the life of Frank Bompensiero.